Happy Tuesday! Today is Tuesday, July 21st. Welcome, world, and hello. Welcome to We Love LA, where I call on my Tuesdays Tell It Tuesdays. And this is where we talk about fun, freedom, and fulfillment. And I am your host, Sheena. So, welcome to this amazing Happy Tuesday. Today, there's some really interesting topics that I want to talk about. But first and foremost, I like to introduce the music that's playing in the background. I do not own any rights to any of the music, and so that's the artist that I'm playing is called Photay, and that is Photay. I've actually discovered this artist. I can't remember if it was on Pandora or maybe Apple Music, but come with some cool, chill indie type vibes. Everything is really cool, just in that whole radio genre, and so I absolutely love it. So I thought it was perfect for the mood, calming and relaxing, to where talking into some heavy subjects today. So just as a reminder, I don't own the rights to the music. Also, I keep my segments about 30 minutes long. Try not to go over than that. Sometimes I may go over, I may not. But just want everybody to tune in and enjoy. So, how has everybody week been? OMG. I would say last week was a really rough week. This week, so far, it's starting off okay for some people, but I know last week was really tough for a lot of my family and friends and family members and things like that, and co-workers. Everybody has been going into it, and so really hard, trying times right now. And so it kind of wanted me to lead into a talk today, talking about some of the things that we do, why we do it, how we respond to things and stuff like that. So before I even dive into that, I gotta take a drink on RIP to last week. I love Moscato. Speaking of Moscato, yes, I am drinking Moscato by Stella Rosa. I stumbled upon Stella Rosa a long time ago, but Moscato I had discovered by accident. This was probably maybe 2003, 2004 I had discovered Moscato. So it's this really cool place I like to go to in Chinatown. That's in LA, and yes, there is a Chinatown damn near in every country or every city or a major metropolis. But here in Los Angeles, there is a Chinatown that is just north of downtown LA. And there is this one particular market. I can't tell you the name of it, but I know where it's located. But anywho, they're like it's kind of like a grocery store, but then they have like herbs and tea, roots, and they also have snacks and liquor. If anybody that know me, I love snacks. I love potato chips, and I love wine. So yes, I am a wino. Not an alcoholic, but just, for fun. Super good. So how I stumbled upon Moscato, I remember it was this one bottle. It was shaped like a cylinder cone or whatever. It was shaped like a cone, and it had this really beautiful foil paper that was like this purple fuchsia color, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is super pretty, I want it. And so they had a really big bottle that can do about maybe 4 glasses, and then they had a small split bottle which can do about maybe 2.5 glasses. And so I decided to get the split bottle because I didn't want to get a really big bottle of something I really didn't like it, and I knew they had a whole box and I can go back and get some more. So I got the split bottle and I sat on it for a while. I'm like, oh, it's really pretty, I don't want to drink it. And then one day I ran out of all of my other favorite wines, and something told me, you know what, I'm going somewhere, let me just bring this little bottle with me. Pop the bottle open. Hello, we just got a new attendee. Welcome. But yeah, once I ended up getting the bottle and I ended up tasting it, OMG. I was so in love. I couldn't drink anything else. I mean, that Moscato was so good. So the drink was by a company called Martin and Wainwright, something like that. Martin and Wainwright. But anywho, they still exist. You can actually find that particular Moscato at Bevmo. I'm not for sure if they still have it in Chinatown, but I had to RIP them because when I was first drinking that Moscato, it came corked. So you would actually have to have an actual bottle opener or like a cork screw to be able to open it. Now it's twist cap. Yeah. Maybe Chinatown still got the one that has the cork, but who knows? But anywho, that was my whole rant on Moscato. And again, yes, I am a wino. I have a membership at Family Malibu Wines. So I know I did talk about that particular company probably a few weeks back. But yes, if you are in the Los Angeles area, highly recommend. They have a tasting room in Malibu, which is the original location. So there's an outdoors tasting room, which they should be open during this COVID period because it's outside. But they also have their vineyards to where you can do tours of the vineyard. Also, they have the safari tours. So there's different kind of animals that they have on their site, and you can drive around. It's like safari truck with the top off and look at the animals, tour the vineyard and all the things like that. Super nice. Then also they have their beer and wine garden that is in the valley. So I think it's by Chatsworth. Highly recommend to go there as well. Super good. They used to have a tasting room at the Queen Mary in Long Beach, but I'm not for sure if they're still there, but the two first locations, they are there. So super amazing. So go and try them. No shade on Stella Rosa. You can find them also at the at the San Antonio Winery. That's also downtown Los Angeles off the 5 freeway. So super amazing. I haven't been to their tours yet, but when Earth opens back up again, most definitely I am going. I so did not appreciate the time that I had, and now we are, at the stay home. A lot of things, this is just basically forcing us to be able to stay home, or forcing us just to stay home. And so I know I ranted on a little bit about that, but all of that conversation comes into play with the word of the day. The word of the day is conformity. Conformity. How do you spell that? CONFORMITY. Definition: compliant with standards, rules, or law. So how does conformity go along with the whole rant of what I just went through? Well, first and foremost, I am starting a new book. This book is called The Motivation Manifesto: 9 Declarations to Claim Your Personal Power. And this is by Brandon Burchard. Number 1 New York bestseller. So I know it's backwards, but just so you can get a glimpse of what the book looked like. I haven't started reading this yet, but this is my next read. And when I did kind of flip through the pages to kind of get an idea on how how big the book is, the font size and things like that. There was the first page that had stood out to me where it talks about the word conformity, and that's where I got the word of the day from. So it says here, conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. John F. Kennedy. So it made me sit back and realize, what is happening right now. We're going through, the stay home laws in California, and I know in some other states they've shut down the state as well. Some places it's not even allowing people to travel in or out, or allowing people from high risk areas, which is going to be California, Florida, Texas, Arizona, and maybe a couple of other states. They're not allowing those states to fly into other states, and so that's a form of conformity. Also, we just got news that now our good old lovely president wants for us to start wearing face masks everywhere. Now, not opposed to what we are supposed to do to protect ourselves, but here it is now a law. Now it is a rule versus something that should have just been common sense, but that is a form of conformity. So how does the word conformity play into, our happiness, the things that we take for granted? It plays a whole role, because if John F. Kennedy says that it's the jailer of freedom and growth. Everything. Basically, we are living our lives based off of what somebody else think our lives should be. Or we're living in so much fear to where I'm doing this because I am afraid of doing what I want to do. And so now it stunts, my growth. And so I had to start looking at, different things in my life that I took for granted. For me, I just, wasn't really paying attention to the surroundings. Now, I've always paid attention to my surroundings when it comes down to nature and things like that. But for a long time, I had allowed fear to take over me. And fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. And then there is another one where it says face whatever it is and run or whatever. I don't know, but false evidence appearing real. And that's basically, in your mind, you're telling yourself, oh my gosh, this can happen. Oh my gosh, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. And we're making up all of these stories to where we are stunting our growth on going after what we want. And so the news is really just killing a lot of our ability to grow, because we're having to follow these laws. We have to follow these rules. And again, not against them, but it's just more on what is common sense. And so just being able to have to break those barriers, that's how we can find our happiness. That's how we are able to move and elevate to the next level. And, it is about being able to, just move forward. And so just a little story about me. I wanted to travel. I wanted to, meet a lot of people and have fun, party. Like, I've always been life of the party. I've always been like, ooh, what's this? What's that? Just curious by nature. And I can say that I had allowed my growth to be not elevated as fast as I wanted to be, because I had allowed fear and other people who have not experienced what I experienced or was trying to experience or didn't even care to want to experience to tell me what I should and shouldn't do. And so I conformed to their lifestyle. I had conformed into their ideas. I had conformed into, their beliefs versus living my own life and having my own belief. And so it caused me to basically miss out on a lot of stuff. And, what really made me get out of my head and stop being fearful. So about 2 years ago, my sissy, hey, her name is Her Fresh. Follow her on Instagram. My sissy Octavia and we ended up going to Jamaica, Montego Bay. Now, she's been to Jamaica before. She had went to Kingston. Now, Kingston and Montego Bay are on two different sides of the islands, and I hear it's kind of like night and day. But anywho, I never been to Jamaica before, and I've always wanted to go. I see good things and all that stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm seeing like, oh my gosh, I'm in a whole other country, and we're just kind of like two women on our own, and oh my gosh, somebody can kind of, like, they can get us. I just had all of these thoughts in my head because that was the fear that I had from other people telling me what I need to be fearful of or what I need to be afraid of and things like that. And so her and I, we ended up getting to Jamaica a day early. We wasn't even supposed to be there until the next day. We were staying at this resort, which was called it was called Secrets Wild Orchard. Amazing place. So Secrets, I'm talking about you. Hook me up next time I come. Yeah, man. So, but anywho, we made it there, and it just so happened that we didn't have a place to stay, so we had to stay at one of the local hotels or whatever they're called. And I was so scared because we ended up catching a cab. They took us to our hotel, and it looked like it could have been like a fourplex or something. And to get to our room, the outside patio is kind of like fenced off, and it's locked with a padlock. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you gotta have it locked with a padlock. I'm like, what if the place try to burn up and we can't find the key? Like, we're gonna burn up. Like, all of this stuff is running through my head. Then I'm like, damn, they gotta have padlocks. Like, oh my gosh, the neighborhood must be bad. All of this stuff is running through my head versus saying like, no, God got me. You know, the universe is not gonna let anything happen. You know, being fearful because of what other people was telling me what I should be fearful of. And so, yeah, was able to get over that fear. And then now my stomach is rumbling. and my sister, she's hungry too. And so we called the cab driver. He said, you know, he can take us anywhere we want. So ended up taking us into town to go get some food. And we're kind of just walking. I'm like, what if he's going to get us robbed? All of this stuff. And when I promise you, unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. And once I kind of like gotten over that kind of fear, it made me start thinking like, you know what? I can continue doing this. I love Jamaica. It turned out to be an amazing trip. And because of that trip, I was able to overcome my fears to where I made it to Cancun, Mexico, when there was a lot of crap that was happening that year. Oh my gosh. Then made it to Cuba that same year, and oh my gosh, like, you can't even really travel to Cuba like that. Thank you, President. But anywho, I made it before he closed off the travel. But I mean, I was able to overcome all of that. Now, yes, my antennas are still up and I am still watching, but because of, you know, my fear and experience that I had in Jamaica, I needed to let that go. And I needed to trust myself and trust the person who I am, knowing that I am a good person and I give off good energy to where what I give is going to come back. Because that's good karma. Karma doesn't mean it's got to be bad. Karma is whatever you put out into the universe, it comes back to you. And that's either bad or good. So you get to pick and choose. So in the midst of me getting over my fears and, you know, breaking the conformity of allowing that to stop me from what it is that I am after, I wanted to share a little brief introduction on how I create a vision board. Now, this is going to be super quick because I know every year, you know, beginning of the year, we all create vision boards. And I think this is the first year that I did not create a vision board. I wonder how many people created a vision board this year. And if you did create a vision board, like, are some of the things on your vision board that you have put in December and January? Like, Did they actually like come true? Did it happen? Do you have those things? How is it working for you? And what it is, what did you do? How did you make it? Yes. I was just reading this other passage that I thought could have been good, but no. So, a few years ago, I went to Salt Lake City and I went to a 3-day seminar, which was called the Master, by 3 key elements. It was called the Master, oh my gosh, it's the Mastermind. It was a mastermind workshop where they were teaching people how to build relationships with people. And this 3-day workshop, it isn't just necessarily about, I need to have a better relationship with, for business, but it's building better relationships for everything, because at the end of the day, we are human beings, we're people. And without other people, how can we coexist? And so this brings down the hate, the fear, brings love, it brings understanding, it brings trust. And so I highly recommend this seminar, which was super good. So it's a husband and wife duo, Kim and Kirk Duncan. Their company is called 3 Key Element, and they are based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. So one of the greatest takeaways that I did love about this master mindset was, when it comes down to communicating with people, just at a first response, you're face to face, give that person a compliment, like, oh wow, like, notice their eye color. When you notice their eye color, give them a compliment. Oh wow, you have beautiful brown eyes, or beautiful blue eyes, or give them some kind of compliment of themselves and not what they're wearing or anything like that. Because we can change our clothes, or oh, I look good today because I have my makeup. No, just you look beautiful, or you look handsome. Also, introduce yourself with your name. Remember their name. Say their name in conversation so you can retain the name. And then also you want to respect your devices. So are you on your phone? Is it loud? Are you speakerphone? Are you recording? Like, you want to respect the devices that you have that are being used at that time when you are in communication with that person, because first interaction is very important and you want to be able to make an everlasting impression. And so that was a really great takeaway. And then 2, another takeaway that I really, really enjoy. Hi sissy, it's my sis Ivory. Hi. Real quick shout out my sis Ivory Jean. She has her own scrub business called Miss Scrubs. You can find her on IG at Ivory Jean or Miss Scrubs, and she makes some super amazing organic and vegan body scrubs. And so you can hit her up. She is local Black-owned business, so please support the cause. Anywho, where was I? Oh yes. So the second takeaway that I got from the whole mastermind was keep a notepad on the side of your bed. So I have this notepad, and it says "Get It Done." This could not have been the best thing I've ever came across, because number one, when you first wake up, either you're having like vivid dreams, or you're having a nightmare, or you have ideas, like your mind start racing at 3 in the morning. Like, that's when the magic happened. I don't know why at 3 in the morning. I don't know, maybe it's some shifty stuff that's going on. But anywho, that's when the mind is really going. You're picking up a lot of ideas and intuitions and stuff like that. And so the first thing you want to do when you wake up, whatever that you were thinking or dreaming of, write it out. Because maybe that could be the roadmap or the answer to where you're trying to get to. Also, people who are like the first 3 people that come into your mind, write their name down. If it's more than 3, write their names down, because what you are able to do, reach out to those people. Hey, such and such. Oh my gosh, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Are you okay? I'm checking in on you. A lot of times people, you calling them, you ain't heard from them in like 2 or 3 months or 2 or 3 years. They're like, you must want something. What are you calling me for? No, you just came across my mind and I wanted to just check on you. It's been a while. How you doing? Let's catch up. To where now you're building that friendship and that relationship back with the person who you may not have talked to in a while. Now, when you're in the midst of catching up with that person, now you can catch up and be like, hey, so what is it that you're doing these days? Or how's the family? You have kids now, like you're married. Oh my gosh, like I didn't know that. And these are conversations you want to have with somebody live, not on the phone. Because if you have these kind of conversations on the phone, oh, there's no reason I don't need to talk to you no more. I don't need to be with you. Like, oh yeah, you okay? Like we don't need to go get coffee or no. You want to just, hey, I thought about you. You came across my mind. How are you? Hey, it's been so long. Why don't we go and grab something to eat? Let's go catch up. Let's have coffee. Yeah, that sounds great. I used this technique literally last week. And it just so happened I'm having coffee on Friday with an old coworker, and it's just like, hey, we're just going to catch up. Like, how have you been? What are you up to? And you never know what could happen between me and this person. We can be the best of friends, or we could be business partners, or it could be something that I may have that can benefit him and vice versa. So with that being said and done, those are the two takeaways that I love from it. But the ultimate takeaway was how to create a proper vision board. And again, it's not hard. It's very, very simple. I just love how simple this procedure was. I was like, oh my gosh. He was like, even a third grader can do it. And so first and foremost, you can do one or two things. For me, I started off with putting some tape on the wall, like some painter's tape. And that was one way that he did it too. Kirk Duncan. He put tape on the wall to where you don't have to go out and buy no board. You don't have to go out and buy paper. And you don't have to do all of this fancy, elaborate stuff. Just make a square and put it somewhere where you can focus on it. And you will be able to see it. And you can spend some time to really focus on it. And so he also says that instead of taking a whole bunch of stuff and just sticking it on and putting this here and there, now it's just like, okay, I don't really know what to focus on. And so you want to keep it minimal unless you have the mental capacity to put a lot of attention on everything that you have on your vision board. So for him, his best suggestion is based off of, how complex your mind can work. Go ahead. But if you can't really focus on a whole lot and multitask, maybe put, anywhere between 2 to 6 things on your board. Because now what happens is that when you get up in the morning, and also you don't want it to be glued down to anything, because you want to have a little like an award case for your rewards and stuff like that. So I'll talk about that in just a moment. So if you don't want to put some tape on your wall or whatever, you can also get something like this, where it's just one of those little boards that you can just slide stuff in between, or you can just kind of like tack it to it or whatever. So I had my board over my mirror, because when I get dressed, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and while I am standing there at the mirror, I can actually focus on my vision board. And you want to be able to focus on your vision board twice a day. The first thing when you get up in the morning, you want to focus and you want to pay attention. Okay, I want to get this new car, and you put focus on it. And then when you're focusing on it, you're picturing yourself. How does it feel if I'm in the car? How does it smell? Like, once you start really thinking of those things, now you're manifesting, like, oh, I know how this is. I know how this works. And you can figure out a way how you can create yourself to get it. And that is part of the manifesto. So also, now say you've already put your focus onto this particular item or scenario. Now let's just say, let's use some money. I collect $2 bills, so I have a couple here, and I have some in my wallet too. I think they're good luck for me, so that's my belief. Don't have to be. So let's just say, I'm manifesting, money. I can either write myself a check, or I can just be like, okay, here's a $100 bill or $5 bill, whatever the case may be. But your focus is, oh my gosh, I'm having this 10 times fold. I'm having this, it's going to come to me in abundance. It's going to come on a regular, and you want to write a little note with it or something. Then that's when, once it starts to happen, now I can take my check or my money off of my vision board, and then I can put something else in its place, because now this is going to be my next focus. This is something else. That's my next focus. So now that I took my money off my vision board, now I want to have a folder. And see, this is Kirk Duncan. He does a lot of mentoring. He helps people to become mentors, professional speakers, help you to overcome fear, he has a whole lot of audio, so I give him a shout out as well. But 3 key element, again, that's his business. He has a lot of CDs and audios. He have online. He also have like online classes and things like that. So now what happens is that you have your folder, and I just have like a bunch of like the page protectors inside, to where now I just want to put my money inside my little sheet protector. See, there's my money in my sheet protector. So now, after the year is up, or just any random time, I could just be like, you know what? Let me go and look over all of my accomplishments. Oh yeah, I got that. I remember I got that on this date. Yes. Oh yeah, here's another one. I got this on that date. That's good. So as a matter of fact, here's one of the things that was on my vision board. I wanted a Mac computer. I wanted a Mac laptop. That was in 2018. I ended up getting my Mac laptop in 2018 because I manifested. I thought about it. I wanted it, and how I'm gonna get it. Like, I visioned all of that. And so now I'm just going back through my, all of my awards and my achievements, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel good. This is a great idea. Oh, I remember when I was crying over this. Oh my gosh, I remember when I was struggling. Like, that's like you go to a high school, and all of the basketball games, all of the football games, they got that trophy chest where you walk into school and they got the jerseys, or, oh, this person graduated from this school and now they are a professional ball player, and they are holding the high school jersey in their trophy chest. This is your trophy chest, and this is how you want to keep track of your achievements. And so that is a simple way of having a vision board. It is super simple. It's super easy, and all it is just being focused and knowing that, you know what, I am not going to allow fear to stop me for going after what I want. Also, I'm not going to allow other people on the outside of my vision, because they don't have the same vision and the focus that I do, not to allow them to tell me what I can and can't do, because we are all our own individual person. And so it has to take for us to walk our own path. And just wanted to end a little bit with another caption out of this book. Now this is from Albert Einstein. It says, all religions arts, and scientists are branches of the same tree. All these aspirations are directed towards enabling man's life, lifting it from a sphere of mere physical existence and leading the individual towards freedom. So, again, don't allow other people to stop you from what you're doing. Don't allow other people to tell you what you can and can't do. Now, you can listen to them and take their advice and try to understand their point of view. But just because somebody said, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you know what? That's too big of an idea. You can't do this and that. Don't let that stop you. But let it be a guiding of understanding why. And don't conform to somebody else's ideal or subjects. So just want to say toast to that. Before we go, had a couple of birthdays that are this month. So last week I gave a shout out to my little strawberry banana, Anaya. My baby girl, she is my goddaughter. She just turned 13 last week. So amen, 13 on the 13th. My father, he also turned 58. So his birthday was on the 13th. So I have a really good friend of mine. Her name is Christy. She is celebrating her birthday today. So she is out on the East Coast. So happy birthday, Christy. Also a good friend, Denise. Today is her birthday as well. She is here in LA. And there's a couple of more birthdays that are coming up. I have a good friend. Her name is Janelle. She's on the 24th. Couple of more people. I have Jeff. He's on the 28th. I'm on the 27th. So I'm just 6 days away from my birthday. And Valerie, really good people. I'm starting, as we're getting into this whole Leo season. Can't wait for Leo season because we are the drugs. We know how to have the fun. But just wanted to give those shout outs. So again, thank you for popping in with me. Double tap. Go ahead and like this live today. Also follow me at We Love LA. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Where we going now, So I enjoyed you all today. Thank you for coming in, and I will see you all next week. I'm gonna wave at some people. Hey. Hi. Shout out to Pote, Stella Rosa, and Malibu Family Wines. Have a shout out. San Antonio Winery, shout out. July Babies, Kim and Kirk Duncan, 3 Key Elements,